Hey everyone, my name is GD and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing great because I really feel awesome today. It feels like I have so much energy that make me create this video. But in this video, I'd like to talk about the first three videos that I have uploaded here in YouTube. But before we get to that, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone, those who watched the videos and those who subscribed. I know that I barely have subscribers yet, and there's just a few who watch the videos, but I'm so grateful. It feels so good to do something that I really wanted to do for quite some time already. I have been traveling in the past years, but I have not been able to document it. So this time, I'll be documenting all of those travels that I will be doing in the next coming months. All right, so going back to the topic, is Bangkok really cheap to travel, or is it something else? So first, I'd like to talk about the requirements, because I know there's a lot of information that is lacking in the videos that I have uploaded, and I apologize for that. I'm not really good at vlogging it, and I don't know what to do yet, and I apologize for that. I'd like to make the videos informative for everyone so you can get out of watching the videos. So going back to the requirements, of course, the passport, you need to have that 6 months validity. And at the same time, you have to fill out the e-travel form. Can be within 72 hours prior to your flight. And at the same time, you also have to pay the travel tax, which is 1,620. I've heard that there's a plan to take it out from Filipino travelers. Hopefully it happens soon so we can allot it to something else, or the cost to something else. And other than that is the hotel accommodation, confirmed booking for accommodation, and of course your return tickets. And also there has been some write-ups, and I've seen a lot of videos talking about the proof of funds that is required in traveling to Thailand. Previously, it was 10,000 baht, but I believe they changed it to 20,000 baht per head or per individual, and there's a 40,000 baht requirement. Proof of funds requirement for a family. I'm not sure for good for how many, but that's actually rarely being asked. However, if you're a first-time traveler, I would highly recommend not to disregard it. Just don't risk it. The reason behind that, because I met someone who was in the same flight with me at that time, and it was his first time going to Thailand, but it wasn't actually his first time going out of the country. He's also a Filipino traveler. I learned about his story because I was able to get a chance to talk to him while we are at the boarding gate. I was actually behind him during the immigration process. I haven't heard exactly what they talked about, but he told me that he was only asked if it's his first time going to Thailand. And then he said yes. And after that, he was instructed to go to the first door after passing through immigration. So that's where the IO office is. And then he was told to fill out a form and have a second interview. So that form consists of all the information about his travel, his itinerary, and including the proof of funds. I believe they say that they're going to be asking you for some cash, but he didn't say that. He wasn't asked to show it. He was just asked how much do you have with you right now. So that's what he wrote in his form. And then he got to the second interview, and then I think he was able to complete all the process after an hour, because I saw him in the boarding gate like a couple of minutes prior to our boarding time. And then, so that's it. I highly recommend not to risk it because you might be asked. But for me, I was only asked for my passport and my boarding pass. So I was able to pass through the immigration officer quickly, and I'm done. All right. So other than that, there is a Thailand digital arrival card requirement that you can actually fill out online. Just be careful where you fill out. Make sure it's the official Thailand website, where you're filling out the form. It has no cost. You can actually fill that out 72 hours prior to landing in Thailand. So just make sure to do that. That's a new requirement that has been there since last year. Um, Other than that, there's nothing more. You're going to be good to go. I think it's still 60 days that we are allowed to stay in Thailand as a tourist for Filipino travelers and some other countries that are visa free in Thailand. So I hope that clears out all the requirements in traveling to Thailand. So let's talk about day one. So I just explored Pratunam area or within the Pratunam area because my hostel is located in the middle. Actually, it's in the center of Pratunam area, I think. So I just roam around Pratunam Market, Platinum Fashion Mall, and Central World. I did not create a video inside Central World because this is just for me, or in my opinion. I found Central World just a typical mall that we have here in the Philippines with lots of nice boutiques, restaurants, cafes, yada yada yada. So I just skipped that part. But what I got curious about is what's really inside the Platinum Fashion Mall because that's where a lot of cheap finds and also in the Platinum Market area. There was also a night market. It's not actually a night market because when I arrived around 7 a.m., it was already there. So it was just like a Thai version of Divisoria. You really get a lot of cheap finds there. And what's amazing is that you'll see a lot of online sellers doing their thing inside and outside the Platinum Market area. And it was really cool. And I just spend, or the additional expense that I have was actually at night when I went to Bayok Hotel because I was trying to find a nearby area where I could get a glimpse of Bangkok skyline at night. So that was the closest that I found. They have like a revolving deck at the 84th floor. It cost me 450 baht, but that already include one drink or any cocktail or mocktail in their bar at the 83rd floor. I just felt a bit scared at the revolving deck, but it's very, very safe there. So I don't know if you guys will find it worth it paying 450 baht for that experience, but for me, I find it okay. So that's for day one. For day two, I was able to explore Wat Arun, and I went to Icon Siam and then Atalit Noi. Maybe you're gonna ask, why did you just go to Wat Arun and did not go to the other temples nearby? Well, they say that when you are in Bangkok, it's a sin not visiting Wat Arun. Just for me, I just find Wat Arun um, different to all of the other temples that is there. So that's why I picked Wat Arun. And at the same time, when I went or before I went to Thailand, I have already planned that I'd like to spend not more than 10,000 pesos so that I'll get to know what I could get out of that budget. So if you're going to explore the other temples, you're going to pay an additional entrance fee for each. For example, in Wat Arun, I paid 200 baht for the entrance, and I paid 150 baht for the costume. It was funny because I was very hesitant in renting the costume because at the back of my mind, have you ever seen a bald person wearing that costume? Now
Wow.
you have, if you have watched the videos. So I don't feel like confident or I don't feel comfortable wearing the costume, but I still did because I'd really like to try it and I want to know how it looks like on me. So I paid a total of 350 for that visit to Wat Arun. And if you're going to visit Wat Po or the Grand Palace, I think there's going to be an additional 500, not an additional, there's going to be an entrance fee for 500 baht at the Grand Palace. Of course, you get to experience the vicinity, and at the same time the location where the Emerald Buddha is. And in Wat Po, you're also gonna pay, I think, I'm not sure if it's 300 baht. I haven't really checked, but around that that amount. So if I'm gonna do that, I would spend more than 1,000 baht for just one day, and I think it would be best for me to just visit one temple at a time, and so I can visit some other attractions where I'm not really gonna spend that much. So there, after like staying more or less 2 hours in Wat Arun, I just crossed the river to Tatian Pier, where I just paid 10 baht for that. But there are actually options for you to ride a boat to explore more of the Chao Phraya River from that location. So I just opted to just cross the river and go directly to Tachang Pier, where I can ride a boat going to Icon Siam. But I did not immediately go to Tachang Pier because my phone battery was drained, so I need to find a place to charge my phone. And that the reason why, because I was only using my phone the entire time I was in Bangkok to shoot or to take videos, because I don't really have that fancy gadgets yet, but hopefully we'll get there soon. So I just tried to make sure that my videos are steady as possible. The only difference is I was using an Osmo Mobile 8 to, the to enhance the stability of my videos, because it's not really gonna look good if I'm just gonna be using my phone alone. So I was able to find a place. I went to Make Me Mango, that's just near Grand Palace. So at Make Me Mango, I stayed there for more than an hour just to charge my devices. And then after that, I found there is a food place, like a food park, at Tachang Pier. So I just had lunch there. The food there was really affordable. So I got some chicken and a sticky rice and some soda and water, which just cost me less than 100 baht. Now, after that, I just went to Tachang Pier and paid 45 baht to go to Icon Siam. And it took me around like 15 minutes or so, or more maybe. And then while I was at the river boat, I was really amazed because as you know, riverboats is actually one of the main transportation option in Bangkok, and it really amazed me that it works for them, because it gets me to the place efficiently. Get to avoid the traffic jam in Bangkok, because it's a city, so it's expected to have traffic or heavy traffic at some time. But it was a nice ride going to Icon Siam. Now in Icon Siam, I didn't spend anything except for the roti, so I was just aiming to taste the roti there, because most of the videos I've watched in Thailand, they always go to that stall and taste the roti there, and I just watched local performance at the middle of Suk Siam. What's really amazing about Icon Siam is the mall. The mall hits different, and you would see it's very aesthetic and find it very cinematic, and or each corner actually is very cinematic. And at the same time, I was amazed with the indoor falls. That's really awesome. So I stayed there for a couple of minutes just staring at it, and then went to the terrace at the seventh floor to just have a look or have a glance of the Chao Phraya River, and at the same time Bangkok skyline. So after Icon Siam, I went to Talat Noi. It was my last stop for the day. It's actually the third location I went to. What's funny is the first part of the video that I showed in day two was not actually Talat Noi. I just realized it's the other street. So I just explored a little bit, like went through a lot of street arts, and there's actually a lot of cafe options in Talat Noi. Some restaurants that you can explore. I've stayed there for like an hour or so, and then I just head back home. That's where I grab some chicken barbecue and fried chicken along the way. Well, actually, it was already at Pratunam area before heading back to the hostel. So that was day two. Now in day three, I went to two locations. I've actually planned 4 or 5 locations at that day, but I was able to go to two locations only. So the first one was at the Big Buddha. I went there as early as possible. It was just easy for me to go to the Big Buddha because I'm staying nearby the airport rail link, which connects to the MRT Blue Line. And in Big Buddha, actually, I didn't realize that the original Big Buddha in Bangkok is just at the back of the pagoda. So if you go around the pagoda, you'll get to see the back of the original Big Buddha, but it would look smaller now because of the new Big Buddha structure. In the day three video, I mentioned that the Big Buddha structure is the newest hidden gem in Bangkok. Yes, that's correct. But the temple actually, I'm not sure if the temple is at the bottom of the structure or it's the temple at the left side of the Big Buddha that has been there for decades ago. So it's an old structure except for the Big Buddha itself. Now, at the back of the Big Buddha is the pagoda where it housed where it's like a museum. It housed a lot of Buddhism relics or artifacts. It's good to roam around there, get to see a lot of you get to see a lot inside. What's really spectacular is if you went to the top floor, you'll get to see an emerald structure inside, and what is inside is really amazing. The color, as I've mentioned in my day three video, it feels otherworldly, and you don't get to miss it when you visit Bangkok. The best thing about it is it's actually free to visit the Big Buddha. So after the Big Buddha, I was trying to find where I can cross the river because there are a couple of cafes actually across the river where you will have a better view of the Big Buddha. But it was too hot and I wasn't able to find it, so I just head back to my hostel. But before I left the Big Buddha area, there was a small store where I had a pad thai for lunch, which only cost me like 60 baht, and it was really a good pad thai. After like a couple of hours resting at the hostel, I went to Jod Fairs, and that's where I explored the area. It's a night market. That's where you will find a lot of exotic food, like there's crocodile, there are live what's that? Live shrimps and all insects, but I didn't really tried one. I'm not into exotic food, but I had dinner. I had pad krapao for dinner. As you've noticed, I have been eating a lot of pad krapao when I was in Bangkok. That is because that's one of my favorite dish in Thailand. So among the 3 days that I was in Bangkok, the third day was the least expensive because I only visited two locations, and at the same time I didn't went to any attraction that I have to pay an entrance fee. So going back to the question, is it really cheap visiting Bangkok? Well, in general, traveling, especially if it's outside the country, is really expensive. So you'll get to a specific budget for that. But you can actually make it affordable. So it depends on you on how you're going to do your travel. So as for me, I planned my travel with a specific budget in mind. So I don't. So I have a guide on how much I should just spend when I'm there already. So if you're traveling, especially outside the country, it's best for you to do a lot of research because your expenses would really depend on how you're going to travel, where you're gonna stay, where you're gonna go to eat, and what are the attractions that you're going to visit. So if you want to spend less, you can go ahead and visit a lot of attractions that doesn't really cost you an entrance fee. if you have that budget, then you can go ahead and explore different attractions, regardless if there is an entrance fee or how much the entrance fee would be. And also, there are a lot of options online that you can book for different types of tours that you could take you around a lot of attractions, which for a certain amount. So if you have that budget, go ahead. So it really depends on you. But as I've said, traveling in general is expensive. However, you can make it affordable. Depends on how you're going to do your travel. Now, there's actually a lot more that I wanted to show you guys in Thailand. Um, do watch out for that. And at the same time, I'll also be showing you some videos with some videos about my domestic travel. So it's gonna be a different season, so watch out for that. But for now, that's gonna be it. And thank you so much for watching if you have reached this part of the video. And for those who have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe and like my videos. And please feel free to give your feedback at the comment section. I would really appreciate it. Once again, this is GD, and thank you so much for watching. Wonder often, wonder always.